Hey, how's it going? And today I just wanted to do a quick update to the tutorial I just did on I'm calling it the ultimate UI widget because I see it having so much functionality. But if I come into the game, this is what it looks like. So here we are. And this is why I'm saying it has so much functionality is that you can custom make these widgets to add text, not just imagery, but text. So let's say I come over here and I trigger it. I've got this awesome graphic. I just threw this together, but it explains the game. It can have all kinds of things on it that we custom make and bring in as a texture, right? And then we're done reading it, we're done with it, and I go close, and then I'm on my merry way, right? And then if I come back later in the game, let's say I want that, I want to see what it is again. I walk over to this area, pops right up, close it out, I'm on my way again. So the reason I wanted to show you this is that I had gone over the code, and one of my things is that I didn't like coding in things that I don't understand what they do or what the purpose of them is. And so what I've done is I've kind of gone through and just cleaned up the code a little bit and expanded it in some sections so that it makes more sense to me, the way things are named and things like this. So I just changed the name from what it said maybe my something. I just changed it to my map. And then looking at this more closely, I realized that player is an agent, but this is player is the key, and this is an optional, I realized, of the overlay type. So it's an overlay type, and the best I can tell is that this stores, so to speak, a reference to the overlay so that we have something to actually remove. Because every other way I've tried it, it doesn't work. So I think this my map is a necessary component to make this work, because you need some sort of reference to what you're removing. It's not just enough to say remove widget. You need some kind of reference. Button text there. Here's our bind to the show, which requires an agent. And here's the code section of code that I really changed, because there was a branch in here. There was an if statement with an if else. And it looked like the first if removed the widget, checked to see if the player already had a widget or an overlay, and then removed it and assigned a false value. And honestly, as many times as I tested this game, I didn't see the need for that. The player would only be getting the overlay from us. The only thing I could think of is if maybe they were assigned a different overlay, like if you had two of these in the scene or something like that. I could maybe see that they come in with some sort of overlay already, and then you're getting rid of it. But if there's just this one overlay, there's no overlay to get rid of. We're the only ones giving out an overlay. So that didn't make any sense to me. So then I just cut that all out. We're not assuming that the player already has an overlay. Come down here, when we press button, we take it away anyway. So that one whole part of that original code didn't make any sense to me. So this all makes perfect sense to me. And what I did was I added in the types here, because this was closed up as, I call it the inference operator, but I don't like this because I don't know half the time what type is being assigned. So if I just type in player, I'd rather have that in there, so I know, okay, I see it's a player UI type, I see it's a player type, I can read it a lot easier. But a lot of times when you see that inference operator, I don't know exactly what type they're referring to. It's hard for me to tell what's going on. So down here, especially on this last section, I put in all the types. I expanded all the type inference operators because I wanted to know, oh, I see this is a text button-based type, this is an overlay type, and this is a player UI. And this is really important to check out, because if you look at it, you see they're grabbing three different types in just this one if statement. They're getting the player UI, they're getting the overlay, and they're getting the text button base all in one. And so when you go to say remove widget my UI, the my UI is really talking about the overlay. This here, right? So it's all very interesting. And then I changed the name here. There were some names that didn't make sense. It was called my canvas, but it's my overlay now. So anyway, I feel like I tidied it up and made it more clear. And I'll do another update if I find that removing that nested if statement up here causes an issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to add two of these to the game and see if that creates some sort of conflict. But I don't see how it does, because when we press the button, we remove the overlay. So anyway, that whole part up here didn't make sense, and it was hard for me keep it in there because it didn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why we're removing something that we haven't even given to the player yet. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. I'll just leave the code on the screen kind of like that so you can see it all. That's all the code. It fits all on the screen right there. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Take care. Have a great day, and I will talk to you next time.